The most dangerous wars in human history are no longer fought with artillery, tanks, or visible explosions. They do not make the evening news, and they leave no rubble in the streets. Instead, they are being fought in absolute silence, inside temperature-controlled server rooms, across lines of automated code, and within the private algorithms of global corporations. This is the invisible war on your career, and right now, whether you realize it or not, you are standing directly on the front line. For generations, the societal contract was simple and predictable. Obtain a specialized degree, secure a white-collar position, and climb the corporate ladder for 30 years. It was a life blueprint built entirely on the promise of stability. But in this modern economic era, that exact blueprint has secretly been inverted into a financial trap. A massive macroeconomic shift is quietly erasing millions of traditional jobs, not because of a temporary market recession, but because the very definition of human value in the marketplace is being permanently rewritten. The complex professional tasks that humans spent decades mastering are now being executed by intelligent digital systems in a fraction of a second for a fraction of a penny. But this video is not a warning to make you panic. It is your tactical battlefield intelligence report. To survive the years ahead, you cannot rely on the outdated career advice of the past. You must understand the hidden mechanics of this digital conflict. And more importantly, you must learn how to weaponize your skills before the marketplace renders your position obsolete. To discover how to not only survive, but completely dominate this new reality, you need to watch this breakdown until the very last sentence. Because by the end of this video, we will reveal the 3 exact psychological and tactical weapons you must deploy immediately to make yourself entirely irreplaceable to the global market. Ignoring this blueprint will cost you your financial security, but mastering it will give you ultimate career leverage. To understand how to win this war, we must first unmask the true nature of the silent weapon currently targeting your livelihood. The anatomy of the silent weapon. To neutralize the power of this silent weapon, we must analyze how technology used to operate versus how it operates in the current landscape. In the past, automation was purely mechanical. It came for blue-collar jobs replacing manual assembly line workers with robotic machinery. White-collar professionals looked down from their corporate offices and felt safe, believing that their university degrees, cognitive abilities, and creative problem-solving skills made them permanently immune to technological replacement. They were wrong. The invisible war did not start in the factories. It bypassed them entirely and went straight for the human mind. The modern artificial intelligence running global operations today does not just process raw data. It synthesizes high-level human logic. It writes software code cleaner than junior engineers. It analyzes complex legal documents faster than senior partners. It generates high-definition visual assets and highly persuasive marketing copy at a scale and speed that would paralyze an entire traditional creative agency. The tragic paradox of the modern economy is this: the more specialized, structured, and predictable your skill is, the easier it is for a digital system to replicate. If your day-to-day value to a company can be summarized in a handbook or a set of standard operating procedures, you are not secure. You are simply a temporary placeholder waiting for a software update. This is the anatomy of the silent weapon. It commoditizes human expertise. It takes what you spent for years and tens of thousands of dollars in a university to learn and turns it into a free, single-click feature on a digital application. When premium skills become abundant and virtually free, the traditional concept of job security completely dissolves into thin air. As human skills are systematically converted into high-proficient software packages, the institutions that once protected your career are forced to adapt to a brutal, calculated mathematical reality. To see how this structural shift fundamentally changes your relationship with your employer, we must now examine the hidden financial motives driving the global corporate landscape, a corporate phenomenon known as the efficiency mandate. The efficiency mandate. To understand why companies are participating in this invisible war, you must look at the world through the cold, unyielding lens of corporate finance. A corporation is not a charity. It is a mathematical engine designed to maximize profit while minimizing cost. For past generations, human labor was the only engine available to generate corporate wealth. If a company wanted to expand, it had to accept the financial burden of human infrastructure. But in the current economic landscape, human labor has transformed into a company's greatest financial liability. Every human element in a business carries hidden friction: salaries, healthcare benefits, workplace conflicts, emotional variables, and the inherent limitation of a 40-hour workweek. Digital systems, on the other hand, operate with zero friction. They require no sleep, demand no promotions, create no office drama, and execute complex data processing instantly. When a board of directors looks at our balance sheet, the mandate is clear: automate to survive. If a competitor replaces their customer service department with automated, digital agents and cuts overhead by 80%, every other company in that industry must follow suit or face bankruptcy. This is not corporate cruelty. It is market evolution. The corporate world is not replacing you because they dislike you. They are replacing you because a digital alternative is mathematically superior to your human limitations. Once you realize that the traditional corporate shield is gone, you understand that trying to protect your current job description is a losing battle. You cannot win a race of efficiency against a machine. Instead, you must change the rules of the game entirely. This brings us directly to the core intelligence report promised at the beginning of this video: the 3 psychological and tactical weapons you must deploy immediately to become completely irreplaceable. In this automated world, the 3 weapons to become irreplaceable. The first weapon you must deploy is high-level synthesis. In this modern era, being a hyper-specialized expert in just one isolated skill is dangerous. If you are only a copywriter or only a coder, a digital system will easily replace you. You must become an intellectual architect who combines multiple unrelated domains. For example, a person who understands human psychology, data analytics, and cinematic storytelling cannot be replaced by a single prompt. Digital systems can generate individual components, but they lack the rare human insight required to connect those components into a powerful, multidimensional strategy. Your value no longer lies in the quantity of work you produce, but in the unique synthesis of your decisions. The second weapon is the mastery of digital distribution. In the shifting economy, your reputation is your ultimate leverage. If your skills are hidden behind a private corporate desk, you have zero power. You must build a public digital footprint, whether through media creation, open source code, or thought leadership. You must use global networks to showcase your intellectual property. When you own a direct, digital relationship with an audience or a market, no middle manager can fire you, and no corporate restructuring can erase your income. You transition from an employee looking for a job to an independent economic force, attracting infinite opportunities. The third and final weapon is psychological adaptability. The greatest barrier to survival is not a lack of intelligence, but an attachment to an old identity. Most people will lose the invisible war because they spend their energy complaining about the changing world, wishing for the past to return. The irreplaceable individual accepts reality instantly. When a new automated system emerges, they do not fear it. They study it, master it, and integrate it into their tactical stack. They do not fight the wave. They learn to navigate it. Possessing these 3 weapons transforms you from a vulnerable component of the corporate machine into an autonomous, high-leverage operator. But understanding these concepts is only half the battle. To truly isolate yourself from market volatility, you must execute the final, definitive counter-strategy that seals your financial sovereignty. The ultimate counter-strategy. The ultimate counter-strategy in the invisible war is a permanent shift in your perspective. Stop viewing yourself as a labor asset waiting to be hired by an employer. Start viewing yourself as a sovereign enterprise. Your mind is the headquarters. Your skills are the proprietary assets, and automated digital tools are your free global workforce. The social contract of corporate safety is broken, and it is never coming back. The glass towers of the past are fracturing, but from those cracks, the era of the high leverage, independent individual has officially arrived. The ultimate counter-strategy in the invisible war is a permanent shift in your perspective. Stop viewing yourself as a labor asset waiting to be hired by an employer. Start viewing yourself as a sovereign enterprise. Your mind is the headquarters. Your skills are the proprietary assets, and automated digital tools are your free global workforce. The social contract of corporate safety is broken, and it is never coming back. The glass towers of the past are fracturing, but from those cracks, the era of the high leverage, independent individual has officially arrived. You can look at this macroeconomic transition and mourn the death of the predictable career, or you can choose to see it for what it truly is: the single greatest window of intellectual and financial freedom in human history. The tools are democratized. The global network is active. The architecture of the future is entirely in your hands. Stop defending an obsolete position. Prepare your mind. Weaponize your assets. Subscribe to this channel and become an adaptable human. Welcome to the transition.